So FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. Basically, it's a method in which you can upload files from your local computer, your local machine, to a remote server, so your live website, because a remote server is what's being used on your hosting provider. So JustHost, for example, they have servers at their locations, wherever they are in the world, and your website is on those servers. So you want to upload files from your computer to those servers. And the way that you get those files there is not through email or sending, a Dropbox link or anything like that. You actually use what's called File Transfer Protocol. And basically that's the method or the route that is used to take those files, transfer them to the remote servers, and then you can access those files using a domain name or a website address, like up here, 5details.com/flow. Now, the way that you're going to need to get those files up there most commonly is through an FTP client or an application or a program that you need to use to take those files from one place to the other. Luckily, there are a lot of really great apps out there, free and paid alike, and I'm going to show you those right now, and then I'll show you how to upload some files from your local computer to your new live website. So first and foremost, Coda 2, one of my favorite code editors, as you probably know already, has a built-in file transfer protocol client. And so if I were to just be on the homepage here of the Coda app, I can click the plus sign down here in the corner, or I could choose the little tool thing here, and I can add a site or just click plus. And this is going to add a new site. So you give your site a name and all that sort of stuff. But right here, server is where you do the FTP mumbo jumbo. Protocol. Choose FTP unless you know otherwise. You're going to just choose FTP. That's likely the case. I'd say 95% of the time. You would know if you needed to use SFTP, WebDAV, or TLS, SSL, so on and so forth. So choose FTP. Passive mode, keep that checked. Pretty much everything is all set by default, and the only thing you need to modify is the server, username, password. So the server is typically ftp.yourwebsite, so bradhussey.ca, or udemy.com or whatever. So that's typically the server. If you just purchase your hosting, then this might be, your servers might not have propagated fully, and it might just be an IP address. So you would get that in your email that we kind of covered there a couple lectures ago, and it would give you the email, the IP address that you would use in place of your server name right here. So type that in there. Username, that's the username that was provided to you in your welcome email, or the one that you created in your control panel if you wanted to create, development at bradhussey.ca or whatever. If you wanted to create a new FTP account, you could do that other than the default one that's provided to you. And then the password for that FTP account, again, you would have set that up. It's typically your control panel password, unless you changed it or added a new account. So I'm going to go ahead and log into my FTP here. And here we go. I'm logged in. You could see in Coda 2, this is the local tab, and this is the remote files. So I'm in remote files. This is my website. I'm logged in. Typically, your website would be located in your public.html down here in this folder. So if you want to upload files from your your local computer to the remote site or server, then you just simply need to upload them in here. And like I said, in public.html is where you're going to have your files. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a new folder in my directory here, my root directory, and I'm just going to call it example. So in example, now I have a plain directory that I can add files to. I'm just going to create a new file here just to show you. Call it index.html. That's obviously the first web page that the server is going to look for. And I'm just going to say, hello world. Now, if I save that, and then I go over to my browser here and go bradhussey.ca/example, it's going to say hello world. And there we go. So I created my first file right in the remote server. And that's what's cool about Coda. You could do that right in there. You can work right in the server. Now, some FTP clients don't let you do that because they're not code editors and FTP clients at the same time. So what you'd normally do, what you could do in Coda as well, is if you had a local, site. So let me say, for example, we created our hipster startup website. I'm going to go ahead and take those files. So here they are. I got them right there, and I'm just going to drag them right in here. So I'm going to go do that. And that's going to go ahead and upload. Should take, a few seconds because it's not very large. But depending on the file size, this could take, anywhere from, 10 seconds to 3 hours. If you're uploading a huge WordPress website or something like that, then that could take longer. Also depending on your internet connection. So once this is all done, we'll be able to navigate to these files using my live website, bradhussey.ca/example, and then using these HTML files here. So I'm just going to finish this upload here, and everything is now uploaded. If I were to go to bradhussey.ca/example/startup.html, we'll be taken to our startup website that we built a little while back. So there we have it. It's sitting nice and pretty right there, live on the internet. Now that's cool, all responsive and all that good stuff that we put all that hard work into. So that's how you upload stuff live on the web using your FTP client, specifically in Coda. Now don't worry, if you don't want to drop $100 on Coda, I totally understand. You can use free software or cheaper software to upload your stuff. And it's the same process. The only difference here is that I also have a code editor that I can play around with. I can click on the file. Now I'm in the live server here, open it up, and I can play with it right on the live site without having to upload, work on the local one and then upload it live. Now that wouldn't be good practice typically, because if you make a live change, then your local version is out of date. And if you were to accidentally upload your local version, you'd overwrite your new changes. So it's usually good practice to work locally, upload it live, work locally, upload it live. But if you needed to make a quick change and you were away from your computer, if you're on vacation, I've done this a lot. Client says, "Uh-oh, this happened. I need you to do this really quick." I'll go into the live server, make a change, make a backup of the old one, and play around like that, so that later I can upload I can make those changes in the local version. And so other FTP clients would be Flow. Now Flow, I believe, is free. I'm pretty sure. It might not be. Okay, no, it's $5, but that's nothing. I've used Flow a lot, and it's good. It's great. It's a great FTP client, and it looks like a Mac application. So if you're a Mac user, it's very seamless, and you kind of get that Finder look, and it looks very simple. You can see your files are being uploaded. You can edit directly. Apparently, this is something that's pretty new. I didn't realize it. You can actually edit your files, kind of like here in Coda 2, and you can play around in your FTP client just like that. So this is a really good FTP client. But if you're not a Mac user, then that's not going to work for you. That's okay. CyberDuck is another FTP client that you can play around with, and it is free. And you could donate to the developer if you want to, be nice. And this is available for Mac and Windows. So good to go. Works the same deal. You can add bookmarks, kind of like in Coda here. We have all these bookmarks, and you can log in via FTP using the same methods. Your FTP server, username, password. You can log in via SSH, SFTP, Amazon S3, Rackspace, blah, 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 blah. So you're not going to be hard-pressed to come across any issues there. FileZilla is also another free one. I'm pretty sure it's open source, and it's great. It's free. Works well. Doesn't look as pretty, but it does the trick. Same deal. So that's FTP, File Transfer Protocol, and you can go ahead and start doing that now. You probably already have work that you might want to upload live. For example, the site you've been working on, your HTML, CSS, Bootstrap site that you were coding. Maybe you want to put that live on the web to get started, just to show some examples, or just to play around with your new domain and hosting and your newfound FTP skills. Again, you could check out Web Hosting 101, the free course, and that will show you a bit more of an in-depth process, but not totally necessary. We covered all the main points here. Now, onward and upward to the next section. And we're going to start jumping into some heavier lifting, some heavy duty programming, so to speak. See you there.